there full screen for this? I'm glad these are a few seconds of the pod right now. Oh well. Can't find it. Good enough. League. So welcome to season 6, Sexual Healing. Because I think after last season we could all use a little bit of healing and sex. Stoked to be here, but can't be here without our introduction theme song to the pod.
Boo-doo-doo-doo sports.
And we're running. You may have noticed Ethan and I are together this week.
Yeah. Got Tyler out to Maine.
Hanging out in lovely Portland, Maine. I have a vacation mustache. And, it's going pretty well, I think. I unfortunately did not have this last week when I was meeting Carolyn's parents and her father, who has a glorious mustache.
And I have heard that there might be some deep-seated daddy issues and love for mustaches.
I think both of those are true.
I also am rocking a new look because you may remember I'm a champion, and like those very heroic national soccer champions, what do the best of them have? Bleached fucking hair. It looks very orange in this light, but I guarantee you it's beautiful in person.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, and it didn't fall out. Thank you.
Light
Thank you, Carolyn, for not destroying my scalp.
Lord knows she's the only one that watches this podcast that's not in the league.
I would like to take this time to thank the 2018 sponsor, Fruit of the Loom Men's Thongs. They're somewhat hard to purchase, just as it is somewhat hard to join our league, but you can still buy them at Sears.com. It is $192.79 for a 10-pack. Not a bad deal if you think about it. $20, keep your junk together.
Personally, I wear Fruit of the Loom's thongs every chance I get because if you're like me, anytime you go somewhere humid, let's say Maine.
Oh man, it's been humid.
You start sweating in the butt area. And with Fruit of the Loom, you get that strip of cloth right up the crack, and it just kind of collects all the sweat there, keeps it in one nice place. And that's
what I appreciate about the Fruit of the Loom product is that if I'm running, sometimes I'll just catch the tip of my dick on something really painful. It's sharp, it's rusty, you worry. But
my dick touches a lot of things.
Fruit of the Loom, solid. You're good to go. It's like a gentle caress, but firm.
Just like a father's love should be.
Exactly. Thank you. And another change for 2018, as we still do mostly subsist on Sobe energy drinks, but they're not sponsoring this year. And similarly,
to be clear, we will not be subsisting on Sobe tonight. We have Onesie Single Hop IPA
from local Maine brewery, Lone Pine Brewing. None of you can find it anywhere you live because they don't distribute that far. So
suck it.
We are also dropping the last year's hotline due to its awful ability to respond to messages. I know for a fact it got voicemails, texts, and did nothing.
Sponsorship opportunities lost.
So we had to let them go. And the new hotline number, feel free to text, call, maybe those are about all you can do with a phone number. But anytime.
Write it on napkins. Give it to waitresses at restaurants you're in, or waiters. Whatever.
They go both ways, probably. Probably no. They won't. Who knows? But anyways, the number, area code 530, represent Davis. And that is 530-448-9804. And the hotline is open.
Also, I know that we are live right now, and one of you was watching us for about 30 seconds and then gave up. Fuck you.
Could have been famous. It
was Sam.
Well, I think it's a great time to transition to our segment that you all remember fondly. Goats versus Woats. And we're going to take a look at the entirety of last season for this. And there were a lot of terrible moments. So choosing a woat is tough.
Well, I'm going to start in the obvious spot, choosing a woat and a goat. The woat was, James, you were awful. You got dead last. And
First to worst.
the GOAT, maybe this will be his next move, is shaving a goatee is next to me. Developing and cultivating that image of a winner.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo style.
I am hesitant to give myself a GOAT. I know there's one that is not me I want to recognize, but my GOAT moment, I want to say, is the confidence to start Blake Bortles in the championship match. The People's quarterback, ripping cigs, working construction. That's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
So, going into the season, remember that. But I will say, I think my other GOAT would definitely have to be Ted recovering from losing his number 1 overall draft pick, David Johnson, ending up with Kareem Hunt, which was a bit of a risk, who finished as the rushing yards leader. That was a great insight, trusting those Andy Reid running backs.
I'm inclined to agree. Rookie running backs last year really paying off. Maybe that's something will happen again.
So maybe people should draft Rashad Penny early.
Yes, I've heard he's the one that you want to target.
Good
first round.
California boy.
I love California
still on the
boy.
West Coast, so he hasn't had to transition time zones, which means his body is fresher. Because if you played in a school like in the Midwest and then go to either of the coasts, the barometric pressure is different, so you can't compete at the level you used to play at. Rashad Penny is going just north, so there's no stresses placed on his body. It's science.
That makes sense. As someone who has spent the last week in Dallas, New York, and Maine, I feel like I'm performing suboptimally.
I could probably beat Tyler in a foot race if I hit him in the face before we started.
That holds up.
Yeah.
Go down real quick.
I also just want to say Francis is also a woat because he
exists.
He is pretty bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Worst team name?
Yep. Which is normally a segment we do, but no one has new team names except maybe Sam.
Yeah, Sam. I think you immediately changed your team name. So I guess unfortunately that means you're going to get best team name just because you are the only updated one. Also, Sam is live chatting here and he wants to know if we are overlooking the fact that he learned more than 2 people's names on his roster last year. I guarantee you we did not forget that, and that will be coming up soon in a segment. Welcome, James, to the podcast.
Hi, James.
Checking in from I don't even know your area code, Ontario, whatever that is.
No, he's not in Ontario anymore. James actually recently moved. James is now in Bakersfield.
I'm assuming it's 115 degrees.
Are you dying, James? Did you go for a run? Are you waiting until it's midnight? Probably.
Well,
he's at a Starbucks. Amazing.
Hey, buy something
That's
before
awesome.
You get kicked out. Unless
I assume he's an employee.
Nice. Yeah, that makes more sense. Well, any more goats or what's you bring up before we have our guest appearance?
No, I think it's probably guest appearance time.
Okay, we'd like to invite
our beer wench. I think we could both use another one if you want to grab one on the way, as long as you're getting up.
Yeah. We do have another visiting main personality who some of you might know from last season. Oh, there we get our first sneak peek.
Also,
she is somewhat familiar with a few NFL personalities, but I don't think she has much tactical knowledge.
I don't know if that's a dig or not. It's what I thought of. For those of you who don't know, she inspired my team name last year. After her freshman year, she sexed Chicago Bears quarterback Mitch Trubisky.
Yes, she did.
At the time, he was not Chicago Bears quarterback, so you got him early.
Welcome. But yeah, she did.
Welcome, Carolyn, Miss Telly.
Miss Telly. Don't worry, it took me a long time to learn it too.
Wrong.
We got sand in these ones.
That's not.
They went to the beach. Only yours. Here, wait, you can use my bandana to clean that
Thanks,
out. So,
great to be here.
Carolyn, welcome. I do believe that you're familiar with the podcast.
Hair's looking great.
First time, long time, or long time, first time, whatever it's called. And I know that you are an avid hotline participant.
I have already contacted the new hotline.
Look at that. That is the kind of fan that our league has been waiting for.
I'm hoping for some feedback this time. I was disappointed last season.
Very happy to have you on here. So really,
James,
we just want to know.
You can say hi to him. He's watching live. Sam's going to a family play. I don't know what that is, but that sounds fucking awful.
He needs to shoot himself right now. Hi, James.
So my question for you is,
yes, Yes, sir.
Well, it's going to be a two-part. The first we're going to start is, what do you think is fantasy football?
Is fantasy football?
What do you think it is? What do we do?
The way you guys do it?
When you
or
lose him for months at a time, what is consuming his time?
I think it's grown men's obsession with other grown men, particularly their athletic performance,
Yes.
which seems a bit gay to me, if you ask.
But
we didn't.
I think he did.
Okay, fair enough.
He did. And I think you guys, I don't really understand why there's a podcast to go with it.
You know, given the fact that our last one we recorded, I think, has 2 views. One of them might be me and the other might be you. Valid question.
You know, there may have been 2 views logged on YouTube, but there were 2 more views. That's you and me. So that's almost 50% of the pod, or the league. So really, we're doing it for the people.
That's true.
2 of which, 20% of which are us, but we count.
Anytime we get over 10 views, we've succeeded because we've reached 100% of our viewership.
I think it's a beautiful thing that
Also,
you do.
Phil is complaining about dildo voicemails. Phil, that was a great offer. Could have been a nice wedding gift, maybe.
Oh. It's about
Phil,
to be.
I hope you're watching this. If you're not registered at Dragon Dildos, I'm getting you one anyways.
Actually,
Bad Dragon. BadDragon.com. Not a sponsor.
You know what it's meant to be? I think they're from Arizona and made in Arizona. And you know what else was made in Arizona? Phil.
Oh.
Well, that just seems to wrap it in a little bow.
All comes together.
Well, Phil, you know what's coming your way. We're getting you a nice joint gift. We'll get one of the real pricey ones.
A nice white box with a silver bow.
That you do not open at the wedding.
My next question for you is,
my man,
based on your knowledge, I'm not sure you know everyone in the league, but you basically know everyone in the league.
I think I know a solid
Who
few.
is your favorite member of the league?
Shit.
And also, if that's too much to ask, who do you think is the worst?
Well, Alex is not in the league. Am I right?
That's correct.
Yes.
That makes one of those
That is correct.
easier.
Okay, so we don't.
He's fine. I must say, but I know Jamesies is pretty cool. I don't know.
James is a nice person,
he is.
But he's absolutely atrocious at fantasy football.
Oh, that's true. He loses.
Yes. In case you forgot, James, you're not very good at this game.
James is really bad.
I think the first thing that I ever had to say to James was me shitting on his fantasy because he told me to, and I listened.
I remember those days. Good times.
I was obedient.
Yeah, you were.
Times have changed.
She's become her own woman.
She's 21 now.
I'm 21 now. I'm a grown up.
This is legal. That's amazing.
Yeah. It made me feel old. That
James
had born potentially after Lion King came out.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Lion King was 94.
I think
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch Lion King growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think Lion King's the best Disney movie?
If you say Frozen.
No, it's not going to be Frozen.
I'll kick you out.
Oh, James has a great question.
Oh, he does. Okay.
It was the first thing you said to him was being mean about fantasy. Okay, if you had to make a fantasy team, what would you name it?
Oh, wow. See, it has to be punny.
That usually makes it good.
That is kind of the direction all of our
And I
names
feel like
tend to
you kind of screwed me by taking my one connection that I have to football and using it in your name last year.
You could probably do a much better one. He's like, oh, Trubisky's yes, come on, bro. You could be like, I fucked Trubisky.
I did do that.
But Ethan just came up with that now, so now you can't use it.
No, it would have to be like something like a size, measure, agility.
I think if you could work in a 40 time compared to it.
Oh, I would have to do some Googling.
My 40 is longer than it takes Trubisky to finish, or faster. I don't know if it's going to be faster. So it's going to be Trubisky related.
Let's say his 40 times like 6 seconds. She could be like, Mitch comes faster than 6 seconds.
Also, if his 40 is 6 seconds, he shouldn't be in the NFL.
Wasn't 4 something good? You know, he's
like
a quarterback.
4.4 is like when you're starting to get good for wide receivers. I'm sure like at this point Ben Roethlisberger runs like a 6.3, but when you're getting drafted, you should probably
be better than he is.
at least like 5.5.
You should also make some.
You could probably
passes.
run like under 5.40, I would bet.
Is this for a 10, a 40?
A 40-yard dash.
I did that. Mine was 6.6.
Okay.
Okay, I now feel more confident and have learned a lot about 40 times.
I still think that you could run a sub 5.40.
I also think that I could, and Mitch probably can too.
Basically, you're
Are we
ready
saying he
for
comes
the NFL.
faster than he runs?
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of want to give him like a runs with wolves.
That's a weird connection.
You know, the like comes with a run.
He's on the Bears.
Oh,
There
okay.
are no Wolves.
What?
Yeah, well,
The
Dances
Timberwolves are in the.
that's the
In the
NBA
NBA.
team.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. I'll get back to you.
So
I'm not clever.
I have one other question for you. Would you rather Tyler was
Ooh, I like this game.
more invested in fantasy football
Mhm.
and got worked up and all of the things that come with that?
Mhm. Mhm.
Did hard drugs, you're in Maine, so let's say heroin,
Naturally.
It's popular.
was a furry.
He's already furry.
No, a furry is a person who dresses up.
He's furry.
I'm
A
furry.
furry is someone who dresses in a mascot costume.
Oh,
and
the
fucks other
furries.
people in mascot costumes.
Can I make you watch mascots?
Yes. That
Remember
was
the furries
such
that
a
wanted to fuck the
dumb.
mascots.
Yeah.
So that.
Which one of those 3?
Well, I have.
Hard drugs,
Okay.
more commitment to the league,
Okay.
or become furry.
Now.
You know that his persona would be a cat.
Oh yeah. It's so. No. Here's my question.
Tiger.
Is it like a? Yeah, it would. Is it like a
Persona.
turn
That's what I
on? Like, is it like all the time?
For being a furry is a lifestyle.
It
That's
is a
all the
lifestyle,
time.
right? It's not like I could just like get in bed and he'd be like a tiger.
No.
And
That's
then
probably what happens now. Like I would assume.
roar.
Yeah, but you're wearing like a tiger mascot.
Like a Tony the
suit.
Tiger suit.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great. If it was gonna be like a lot, like you're going to conventions
Yeah.
and like getting there, and then you're like, let me lick your head of the like
Yeah, scritching, I think
cat.
it's called.
I went on. I think I told you the story about the girl I took to my senior year homecoming, who then went to a fur convention because she thought it was a fur coat
Did
convention.
not tell me
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's
I've
fucked up
never
in
heard
2
this.
ways.
This is incredible.
First
How do you
of
have
all-
all of these
Wait,
stories?
no, it's
Pause.
even crazier.
First of all,
Do you wanna hear the
who's
whole
going to a fur convention, even if she thinks it's coats?
No, this person was terrible.
Red
It was
flag.
a friend of a friend
Mhm.
wanted to come to our homecoming, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, I'll take her. Whatever. Everyone thinks I'm gay. It would be great to have a
Yeah.
female person accompany.
Look at this. I have one.
So as we were leaving her house,
She went to prom with a gay
she
person,
says to her
I
mom,
did not.
"Wait, I forgot my fox."
allegedly.
Was it
Mm-mm.
a gay woman?
No.
Well, I thought this person just didn't know how to pronounce the word faux. I was like, oh, she's dumb. But it turns out, no, she meant fox and had an entire like dead skinned fox that she wrapped around
so
her.
not faux fox.
No, it was a fox. It was like a dead skinned animal. I thought that was disgusting. And it really made me not, I already was like, I'm just taking her for whatever. But I was like, I don't like this person because fur is murder. Also, just, you don't need it. It's unnecessary. But then when she told me later,
This
she wanted-
podcast is not in support.
Yeah, fur
Fur.
coats, like there's no reason. It's unnecessary.
But we're also not in support of PETA, to be real clear.
No. PETA does a lot of really fucked
Find
up
that
things
middle
too.
ground.
Don't support PETA. They are a fairly questionable organization. Just look at what they do. They murder pets. But
But
anyways,
then other people can't murder them.
that's their
That's
whole
logic.
idea.
That sounds like duck hunting to me. You know those people that are like, save the ducks. Like, don't.
I've literally never heard this in my life, but I also don't hunt.
You didn't go to UNC for long enough.
So we've gone
Yeah,
on.
undergrad. See, they
I don't
said-
know how we got here.
But they said they protect the grounds so that then they can kill the ducks. They don't want anything else killing the ducks.
Oh.
They
okay,
want
I
to be
see
able
that.
to kill their
Gotcha.
own
So
ducks.
they don't want any natural predators of the ducks. They just want humans with shotguns.
Okay, so wait, let's wrap this
Let's
up.
bring it
with-
back.
Shotgun brings us back to football.
Hold on,
She
let me
wound
just-
up
The
at
gun.
a
Is the gun
furry
in the thread?
convention?
Oh, no, he's
In
not.
the league?
So yeah, she ended up at a furry convention in a fur coat with a friend in a fur coat, and then realized it was all about people dressing up in mascots.
And those animals are like, you killed me, and now you're wearing my clothes.
They probably tried to fuck.
They probably try to fuck. If anyone plays Madden, taking outside zone runs out of shotgun, any shotgun
That's how we
formation,
tie this back in. Good.
is the easiest way in Madden 18 to rip long runs. Like,
If anyone plays Madden,
oh yeah, I'll beat you all. I know how to beat
Mr.
Sam's bullshit skinny posts.
How many kind of looks like a
I made
soap
it
brand.
when I was
Xbox
in my
only.
ninth grade.
PlayStation, get the fuck out.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
we were
To
going
answer your question though.
I don't even know what
Oh,
the
right.
question
We
was.
never finished the Would You Rather.
I'm there. I got it.
I wasn't.
I would choose be more into fantasy and the league.
I think I set that question up so that was
I can do
the best
that.
answer, and now you have permission.
Yep,
I know.
that's consent.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you could do it because like we're long distance
Also-
anyway. You do your thing.
well, no, I think
in that season.
a more important thing is the alternatives for doing heroin or being a furry.
Yeah.
There was one right answer, and you picked it. So, you passed this test.
We made it.
Okay, you can go sit down.
You can do whatever. You can stay and join us, or you can go
I'm
sit
not-
and have.
I think I'll stay.
Okay.
Okay.
We weren't going to address
talking
this
football
Okay.
frequent topic of best worst name change because the season just began. But apparently, Sam saw the email that our league reactivated and immediately changed his team name. So
To
without
what?
even knowing what it is, you get best team name change and worst team name change because you're the only team name change. But also, good job.
I like Sam's team name, and honestly, he might have changed it last season. We just didn't pay attention because he wasn't in the playoffs.
Yeah, he didn't.
But it is currently Law School is for Losers, and that's funny because Francis sucks.
Yeah. Which is worst team name is still Francis.
His is Call Me Rafi. You're not.
No.
No, pass.
I will also.
I don't get it.
That's okay.
It's
We're not
from a
explaining
TV
it
show.
No, I'm just, that's not good.
I, as
We all get
everyone
it.
knows, I'm a bit of a rivalry with Francis, but I think he's a better person than Rafi, and you can't really compare yourself to that. I think you're a shit fantasy football player. You're lucky, and you probably shouldn't use slam as a verb to describe sex, but you're not as awful as Rafi. And I'm going to kick your ass every time we play this season. Book it.
Can you use
Sharpie.
slam in a sentence the way he would?
I was having a crazy slam session with my bitch the other day, and then my bed broke.
Well,
Yep,
it
that's probably a
sounds
real
like
sentence.
He was slamming.
Probably.
If furniture is breaking, I don't know this Francis.
Like a normal type Pokemon using slam. It's never super effective, but it's never resisted.
Hey.
We should probably edit these podcasts.
Nope, we can't. We're doing it live. I don't know how else to do it.
I know. So we have our next segment that y'all remember.
All right, what's the best bye week play?
Oh,
Well, we've been on bye for
let's
like
just talk about our
what's
summer
happened on bye?
Phil
Got married.
engaged.
All right, best bye week plays to
Phil.
Phil. Congrats, you locked something down. We're proud of you.
A beautiful doctor.
Ethan and I will see you there.
Yeah.
We'll be rooming together,
We'll have the dildos, apparently.
and we'll be coming with that dragon dildo. So if only got that sponsorship, he could have saved us
Open
like
it at
$50.
the rehearsal.
Now
dinner.
he's gonna be afraid to open whatever we actually do get him, and it's gonna be something nice. Like I would have gotten you like a Nutrimix. Those are
And a dragon
really
dildo.
good blenders.
I'm imagining like a
So you can
dragon
put the
dildo,
dildo
in a
in-
blender.
Yep.
Will it blend?
Or just like leave it rested atop a gravy boat. You
need
know?
something new, something old, something blue. I bet they come in blue.
I know they come in blue.
Borrowed.
It could also be borrowed. I
We
bet
could
Rachel
use it
has
first.
one.
Yeah.
I don't know why
It'll
I
be
assumed it was a
borrowed.
butt thing. So with that, we are going to move on to the pick'em section of the
Predictions for the season.
podcast. Do you want to start with finishing order or with our this versus that?
No, I want to do this versus that first.
Okay. While it is still summer, which we referenced, our first one is Francis versus the Arizona air temperature.
I'm going in hard on this one for Arizona.
I think Arizona, because even though I know Francis works in an air-conditioned place, that fucks with you more because it'll be like 120 outside and you're working inside in that climate-controlled box all day and it's set to like 68, so you're getting chilly. Your body is uncomfortable then, and when you step outside, the shock. It's like I was saying, from that like
There's no wind.
Midwest to the coasts, same thing. It's the scientific effect why you should not draft any rookie who is not playing in the same time zone where he played in college.
There is a correlation between changing time zones and probably changing temperatures. What happens when you change time zones?
Exactly. It's hotter and colder.
You decrease performance. There's no way around that.
Yeah.
Look, Jared Goff, arguably a breakout quarterback last season. You know why? Stuck around in California.
Acclimated to his place over his entire life, from Berkeley to LA. That's a small change.
It's true. I went running in Dallas and New York, 30 seconds a mile slower. 30 seconds a mile slower. You know how much that translates to on like a football field?
Oh yeah.
That's a sack versus a touchdown.
So Francis, good luck in that hot Arizona weather.
I was also going to say, I picked Arizona specifically because Francis has texted me about going to UNC for a summer to escape the heat, where it is 105 and humid. If that's an escape, you're already losing.
Considering we all went to Davis, where those summers would be like 114.
Good time to play golf. No one's in your way.
That's smart. Do you know you can do 1 a.m. tea time in Alaska because it's light out? That's unrelated to any of this, but it's just cool.
Greg's not in this league, but I'm going to text him.
I don't think Greg's ever golfed.
I don't think so either.
So next, this versus that. Sam versus Lauren. Lauren, obviously.
Obviously, it's Lauren.
Anything.
There's just no way this isn't Lauren.
Lauren is Sam's very... It's not even controlling, not anything, just like assertive partner.
I think we should clarify. Lauren is not Sam's partner. Sam is Lauren's bitch.
Yeah.
She owns Sam now. That's what it is.
Lauren.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking about Lauren.
Talking about Lauren.
I'm ready.
Lauren versus Sam. Oh, you can have a take on this. You can have both. Hot take. Sam versus Lauren. Who's going to win? Pick them.
That's it?
Any
just
competition.
Sam at Lauren?
Sam versus Lauren. Yeah, obviously.
Okay. So 3 for 3 for Lauren. Sam, you should probably just turn over your fantasy football team.
She would do better. And
it's hard to do worse.
I am going to say, James, you might want to consider letting Kristen take control.
She's bad.
Sam.
Kristen seems to know what she's doing. She's got a family league for many, many years.
Oh, wait. James is joining that family league.
He is. Oh, God.
I hope they like you, because that's not going to put you in any good standings.
He's joining the
James, you should.
Kristen
I don't want to rush you, but you should propose before this season starts and they get cold feet on you.
Yeah. Oh, man. Which brings us to the next this versus that. James versus overthinking every fantasy football decision at his own detriment.
Overthinking, 1,000%.
Yeah. Sam, I think
James is probably already planning to draft Des Bryant, and he's not on a team.
But that's strategic. He's going to go somewhere
He's one
good.
step ahead.
He'll be a good fit.
You're right.
I think there is a very solid, let's say 50% chance I go back-to-back as champion. I would say there's a 94% chance James goes back-to-back as the 10th place finisher.
That's true. I also really regret telling Sam just now that Des Bryant is not on a team.
I don't think Sam knows what that means.
I don't think he'll watch this.
That's true. No, Sam was watching this for a little bit.
I don't think Sam knows what free agent means.
That's true. He is on the free agents, so that's actually not bad. Yeah, you good.
You get more money as a free agent generally. Almost always.
Is Sam going to a family play?
Yeah, that sounds...
Is that Lauren's family?
I don't know what that
probably
means.
Sam was watching some cousin do a musical or something.
It sounds awful. Next one.
Next one. This could be both in fantasy football and life, but let's stick to fantasy football to make it less dark. Ted versus injuries. Thankfully, all his players wear helmets.
Hopefully he does too.
He should.
During games, in a sign of solidarity and protection from concussions.
I'm going to go with the injuries. I think Ted has some good football knowledge. Ted's one of the few people with James watching college football of not just their alma mater, because we all love that Davis Aggie football pride. And
I would argue
Tar Heels. And Steve.
Yeah,
and Tar Heels. No, Eric Ebron's going to be good this year.
Maybe. I have feelings about that. Like, who gets cut on a rookie contract?
Someone who
Ebron.
needs a higher contract.
Yeah, but we did go to a team with Andrew Luck throwing balls at him, and that is the person I would want.
We'll see.
I'm sorry, I'm talking too much.
Having drafted Andrew Luck.
I'm going to choose injuries because I do think all of us can fall prey to injury at any given moment.
I lost Leonard Fournette last season.
Yeah, those loose ankles.
Mm-hmm. He lost.
Even though they upgraded their offensive line, I was reading about this. Leonard Fournette's ankle injuries, it's the sort of thing like you never get better from. His ankles will be loose for his entire life.
My left ankle is still not like my right ankle.
I can tell you some stuff about
he
that.
Better get as much money as he can, as quick as he can, because that dude is going to
get some braces and
up legs forever. Like they're already like his life is going to be tough. So he earned that money by sacrificing his body.
Also, so you're taking him for your first round pick?
Yeah. If I could somehow trade my 7th round or 7th slot pick for the first overall, I'd probably take Leonard.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, Leonard Fournette. It's a classy ass name.
Boy, he's on the Jags.
Jaguar cat team. Yeah.
Well, you got Blake Bortles under center.
Blake Bortles is Florida incarnate.
At the very least, their team has an incredible defense, so they're going to be running clock. And that means handing the ball to someone that's not Blake Bortles, so he can't throw an interception.
Rid of that one white running back, Toby Gerhart. That's who.
I thought Chris Ivory was the backup.
He is, because Toby Gerhart's gone.
Got it.
The White Rhino. If I could ever have a nickname,
going to poop again?
Maybe the White Rhino. You know, it's the veganism is great for you.
I wish I could poop that fast. I was gone for like 1 minute.
It'll make you
I know. That's how long we take to poop.
That's how vegans poop.
Is that the
like
vegan
beer.
Superpower?
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. A big part of it.
And it takes like 1 square toilet paper.
Yeah.
Everyone consider giving up dairy. Cheese is actually your enemy.
Unless you are James and then you wear it on your head. Just don't eat it.
You might think cheese is good, but cheese is not. It's addictive. You don't need it. Your life will be better without it.
It is saturated fat, cholesterol, and sodium concentrated.
So
and it is delicious.
Our last, this versus that.
What do we got?
Phil's season versus Phil's wedding planning.
Oh.
I think Phil goes all in on the wedding planning.
I think Phil is going to get, I don't know Caitlin at all, but I think both of them strike me as very meticulous, organized people. So I think she's actually going to encourage him to spend that time with his friends, relaxing. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. And I think Phil is going to have a slightly stronger showing, and he'll finish 8th instead of 9th.
You know what? I like this take. And if anyone has Caitlin's number, I want it.
I have a question.
For fantasy-related purposes.
Yes, I have a question. When did they get engaged? How recently?
I told you about their engagement, so you should know.
I don't know when they got engaged.
It was in San Diego.
But I don't know when. I know where.
This summer?
No, he texted me about it.
It's less than a year ago.
December-ish? November-ish?
Okay. Phil, text the hotline when you
Phil, when did you get engaged?
What I'm thinking is...
I really don't think Phil's ever going to watch this.
No, he's like...
Phil, do you commute sometimes? Phil, if you commute, also text me. Not during your commute, unless like you feel like it, in which case, whatever, good enough.
Because I'm just saying, if they got engaged in December, then by now, if they're organized people, that shit's planned. And so I pick Phil's.
He has already picked a hotel.
I pick, yeah. Oh, yeah. He knows where. I picked Phil's season versus wedding planning.
I hope Carolyn is right and Phil comes firing out of the gate, which seems like a good transition to our next thing. We are doing Ethan and Tyler's way too early season predictions for where everyone will finish first place through 10th. I will be going first.
Okay.
I am picking myself to finish first.
Which you have to, if you ever don't choose yourself to win first overall, you have already lost.
True. Also, I've made the playoffs 5 years in a row. At some point in the time, I'm going to find a way to win 3 games in a row in the playoffs, and it'll happen. So, knocking on the door. Number 2, Connor. I think Connor has... I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We got a man.
Looks like it's okay. Tiny bit of beer just spilled.
Worst things have been on this.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a big screen.
Well, the screen and the keyboard are different.
When you're not going to aim for the screen, maybe you'll miss a little bit.
That's a long way to shoot.
Anyways.
So Connor's second. Connor, I think, has decent football knowledge. I think he tries, even though he doesn't shit talk a lot. And then
Is he saving lives?
goodwill he gets from
doing
saving lives.
Jobs, whatever he does. I don't
Is
know.
Connor the doctor?
Mm-hmm. So whatever goodwill he gets for his job, I think might spill over into our fantasy
The
season.
karma.
Mm-hmm.
So why is no one's team named Fuck Med School?
Because we really respect
support.
what Connor does.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Tom.
Number 3, I'm going with Andrew. Because
Dark Horse.
last season had a good showing kind of out of nowhere.
Sophomore season's coming up. That's
Seems
when a lot of NFL players develop in their second season.
That's true. So he's either second-year running back or is he waiting for third-year wide receiver? Either way, he's coming in strong in one of the next 2 years. But first year in the league was impressive. After Andrew, I have Ethan because
I'm really fucking good at fantasy football is why.
Like myself, we makes playoff every year. He did win one, so it's probably not his year this year, so that bumped him down some. We've never had a repeat champion, or a back-to-back, I should say. So yeah. And then right after Ethan is Ted. Ted will have a couple injuries that will hold him down, but...
Oh, the gloving.
Oh, yeah, you gloving?
That was Ted.
That's what you do, Ted. Sort of.
With lights, though.
Yeah.
And after Ted, I'm going Murtiza. I think he sets his lineup every week, so that's pretty good. That's more than I can say for most of the rest of the people I'm about to mention.
Yep.
So we got Murtiza, who doesn't use Facebook or anything, but it's fine. You're going to come in 6th, so you'll lose early in the playoffs. Then Sam, unfortunately. I don't know why your team wins games, but they tend to do it against me, and it's
Apparently,
really annoying.
The ESPN suggested draft picks are good-ish.
Now I'm realizing I should have moved Sam down.
But
because we will not be using ESPN to conduct our draft this year. We will be doing a clicky draft online / live for those of us in Big Bear, September 1st-ish. Rawr, Big Bear.
Be there.
And so
it won't be.
I know.
We're gonna move Sam down. Sam, you're finishing 9th now.
Ooh. Spicy hot take.
Moving Phil ahead of Sam.
Move on up.
Mostly because I'll probably text Phil occasionally and be like, hey, man, this might not be the worst idea. Because, well, he needs the help. And then bottom of the barrel. So we've got James. You don't win, man. I don't know what to tell you.
So
Whatever
nice,
you're
though.
using to formulate your opinions is wrong. And it's not working. And I don't think it's going to change because they're not the worst opinions I've heard. There is something at least behind them, which is more than half of our league can say. But
that's why you have such good logic for the decisions you make, but they always end poorly.
But if it's any consolation.
So don't draft Randall Cobb, James. You're better than that.
James has already received.
Draft Jordy Nelson instead.
James has already received one text from me to the hotline.
We weren't really supposed to reveal that he's the hotline, but it's okay.
Well,
it's a hotline, not James's number.
He responded back, "Hi, Carolyn." I think he's the one that fucked that. But
well, no, he was watching.
No, I mean, he texted me.
Yeah. He knew it was you because he was watching us while we were saying it live.
I think that's why he logged in.
He was the hotline.
He got.
No, he logged in because he was on break at Starbucks.
So who do you think is going to finish last?
Moving on. Last is Francis. Francis is dead last. Francis, you're horrible at fantasy football, and I look forward to seeing you draft without ESPN's help because I don't know how it can get worse, but it's about to.
I hope you pass the bar because it would suck if you don't, but I hope that you absolutely fail fantasy football this year.
It's like a 50-50 shot if he passes.
The bar is hard, but I actually think he'll do quite well. He's good at law stuff.
Yeah. But bad at fantasy football.
Yeah. That said,
who's your 10?
I'll launch in mine. Obviously, I'm going to go back to back, tying the league record for most championship wins one person owns. It's disgusting who currently owns.
We won't mention it. We'll move on.
Second, I think this is Ted's year to not quite. It's Ted Francis. I don't think Ted will win, but I think Ted and I will meet in the championship because you have all the workings that if luck does not come into play and you don't deal with massive injuries or some sort of like
luck and massive injuries,
Deflategate-esque suspension, I think you'll go pretty far. So really, you have the knowledge, you have the dedication, you just have luck working against you. Tyler,
I'm going to draft Julian Edelman, Andrew Luck, and
Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram, and how does that not pay off? They'll be at a discount.
Perfect. I think Tyler will finish third because, as he mentioned himself, he does quite well. Always been respectable, but can't finish.
Can't close.
Kind of like when he's trying to take a final touch and score a goal in soccer.
Punting over the ball.
Connor. Again, Connor always has such a strong draft and is consistently good, but does not manage his team, which I assume is because he has to make some sort of choices like, well, I could successfully add someone from the waiver wire, or I could do the proper stitch pattern for this man's bleeding femoral artery. And so far, he's chosen.
How many people do you think are injured in the femoral artery?
Have we had a doctor again?
I don't know.
That seems like
It was very specific, I know. But you get what I'm saying is I think Connor's life is slightly more important than the league, so he's not going to win.
He has some priorities.
And whatever. I think Andrew's going to come in fifth because he had a strong showing in his first season out. But I see certain homer tendencies in him that might, if he drafts too many Niners, like
this is Jimmy G's year. Second rounder earlier.
Probably, if you want him, like Marquise Goodwin, first overall. That man's fast as hell. Dealt with a lot of adversity. He was
getting the ball.
He's an Olympian.
Oh, I want him on my team.
Yeah. How many other NFL players are Olympians? I think
none.
0. Just putting that one out there.
Marquise Goodwin.
You could not beat him in a race at a 40.
Would demolish me in a race.
I'd like to see you.
I'm going to give Sam 6th, which is a little silly. And I'm realizing now might be incorrect because I was basing that on Sam choosing the suggested draft pick.
Which is no longer a thing.
And the fact that I remembered we're not doing that, I think Sam finishes 10th.
Sam, you've been managed to be moved from 6th to 10th and 9th. Congratulations.
So
we have no faith in you.
That's what I would say about Sam's football knowledge. Murtiza is next, which is 7, but now becomes 6. I think you are fine-ish, but don't have any commitment to this. Probably busy farming Bitcoin or whatever you're doing. You won't really do anything. Phil, you are 7/8. You're going to be busy with a wedding, and there's this thing called busy season I've heard of.
And he doesn't do that anymore.
Oh.
He does advisory now.
Hey, what a good life.
Yeah, well, sort of. I don't know. He tries at his job.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a mistake.
But
Phil, do you know how many fantasy podcasts you could listen to while you're working?
Phil's not very good at fantasy, which is why it's finishing.
He found a lady to love him.
Very bottom part of it. Then I choose Francis, who pains me not to put in dead last, but I think is slightly better than James, who, despite all logic, is easily the worst in our league. Like, Francis is definitely morally, knowledge-wise, everything the worst. But James finishes worse. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't earn it. But he just is.
James deserves nothing but happiness, but apparently he sucks.
So I think that will take us into our final segment of buy or sell.
It's a good transition. There's some good stuff in here.
So, Tyler, buy or sell? Someone cries at the draft. I'll be there.
I'm going to buy it because the draft will be live. We'll be together. And I will be serving copious amounts of alcohol.
Emotional.
I'm going to say tears. Buy, but it'll be happy tears.
Oh, it might be me. Feeling good about this draft.
Happy tears. Okay. Buy or sell. We had this one in the past, but I think it's good to bring it up again. Phil's fantasy football record is brought up during a wedding toast.
I mean, it's pretty hard to not buy this because
it might be a small one-table wedding toast.
Both you and I will be there.
It'll be brought up.
What I was going to say is that who is worthy enough to be making a big old toast? Oh, but you're saying of your own table.
Someone hand us a
I'm
microphone.
anywhere near there, I'm telling someone about it.
I've been told Tyler gives really bad toasts and speeches.
That's not true.
They're not bad. They're just
Breaking
inappropriate.
babies' hips.
Yeah, those are jokes. I was asked to kill time, not to give a speech.
I
Two
guess
very
we could
different
argue that was Ian's fault. He was
I
not
would-
specific enough.
things. Yes, he should have said give a speech about Alpha Sig. Instead he said kill some time. So I did.
Well, and he should
I don't
have known
remember what
better.
jokes I told, but it was probably bad too. I told the bear
Something
joke.
about a bear.
I told
Yep.
the bear joke. It's a long ass joke for a terrible punchline.
Yeah, it is.
I'll tell it on some podcast later. Buy or sell. James is cursed.
Buying it.
Obviously, James. I don't know what you did. Like, if you
James-
did you build a house on an Indian graveyard?
James is so nice.
Did you kick a gypsy?
James already had his Chicago Cubs winning the World Series year, and I think now he goes into the 103 years of never winning again is what happens.
If James lives to be 130, though, good for you.
If anyone could do it, I believe in James.
Is he vegan?
I think
Oh.
James is.
He's not.
Well, okay, you are quite healthy, but James drinks less, so he's. Well,
What?
maybe you're pickling your insides.
Longevity.
Mm-hmm.
He's pickling his inside.
Yeah, pickles don't go bad.
Buy or sell. Sam sort of brought this up, but I don't believe him. So Sam shared in the group chat here that he claims he learned more than 2 people's names on his roster last year. But buy or sell, Sam cannot name a player who was on his team from last year. He no longer
Excluding
possesses
the
that
quarterback, bye.
I don't think he knows his quarterback.
He might not know his quarterback. Sam, when you rewatch this, if you can text us 2 players from your team last year, and Ethan and I already know it's really hard to see last year's roster since I reactivated the league, we will believe you.
I know, I think 3 players from his team.
I know at least one.
Is it running back?
It is.
Yeah.
Are we giving him hints? Maybe.
No, yeah, he doesn't
Yeah,
know
he
what a
doesn't.
running back is.
You're right. Eric Decker is the best running back I've ever seen. Was he on Sam's team last year? I hope not.
I don't think he played last season.
Big Dick Decker.
Yeah. Nick Foles apparently has a big dick too.
You know who doesn't?
Mitch Trubisky.
That's correct.
You heard it here first.
I will not be drafting him now. I assume that there's a correlation with fantasy
Evidently.
performance, unless they make up for it by playing better.
We'll track
Instead
the
of
numbers next
sports
season.
bar.
These are the type of insider information I need to make draft
We
decisions.
will research.
So, buy or sell. The majority of the league cannot show on a map where their World Cup team is located.
By excluding Ted.
I said majority, not everyone. So that would be a buy.
There you go. Okay.
I also buy. I think I can do it, but I'm not 100% sure. And I think I'm smarter than everyone else in the league. So
Who's your team?
mine was Spain, and I definitely can tell you where
I
Spain
can
find
also
that on
point
the
to where
map.
Germany is.
Yes,
Those are easy ones.
but
But they're
And
both
whoever
out.
has Brazil,
I don't
can probably
think
do
Phil
that.
could find Uruguay.
No.
That's hard.
I don't think Sam knows where Belgium is.
Does
Nope.
anyone know where Croatia is?
Nope.
I do because it's by a large body of water.
I know.
Well,
that
now
it's-
Connor might know where it is.
I know that it's beachy.
Yes, but is it an ocean or a lake
Is it a sea?
or a
Oh,
river?
shit.
Yeah. Though that said, Connor I think is very smart.
I don't think he knows where
That
Croatia
med
is.
school.
I don't think he knows where Croatia is.
He knows science.
Yeah, no.
They don't need to know
I would
geography.
say most people cannot name where their country is. I
Agreed.
hope whoever had Portugal can find that one because it's.
I don't think they can. Wait,
It might have
that's
been
my
Ted.
exclusion. That's Ted. Ted
Yeah,
knows where
Ted knows
Portugal
where
is.
Portugal is.
Well, way to go, Ted. At least
Also-
some of us believe in you.
Well, James knows where Brazil is, but I don't think Sam could find Brazil.
Sam,
Really, Sam, I
if
see
you
you're
could
bad at
text us
geography.
a few names of your players and then where Brazil is on a map, that would be cool.
I have no faith
So
in
this
Sam.
is not quite a buy or sell, but just what are some way too early predictions for this coming year? I'm gonna
The
start
ones
off
that
saying-
jump to mind, I'm not going to say out loud because I think
will
it's
say
draft strategy.
One of the top 4 running backs drafted will be terrible.
Yes, I buy that completely. I think that there's no way that any of the top 4 running backs on the board finish 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think one of the top 4 running backs finishes outside the top 25.
Buy. Yes, definitely.
And then my other way too early prediction is the longest win streak of this season is going to be only 4 games. I think it's going to be a very
That's
competitive
short.
season.
Okay. I like that.
I don't think anyone's going to want any crazy runs. There's going to be
I can see that.
no 16-0 team.
Mine are going to be, so in the draft, I believe a tight end will go too early and quarterbacks will go too early.
I think someone will draft a player who has retired or is like not on a team.
Because we will just have, yep. I think that's possible too. I think that Sam will draft a player and think he's on a different team than he is.
Yeah.
I have one.
Do you remember when someone drafted Percy Harvin while he had a broken hip? That's the
He'd come
sort of
back.
thing that's going to happen again.
I think that you guys will all be in Big Bear, and someone will make the fatal mistake of doing their draft blackout.
I got Phil super high before one of ours.
A big part of the strategy is to moderate your drinking and make sure you have a competitive advantage. You need
But I think someone.
Oh yeah, you
will
need to
fuck
be
that up.
drinking so that you can get other people to drink.
You also need to be loose. You don't want to overthink.
Heck.
You don't want to pull
No Jamesies.
some Jamesies.
CJ Spiller.
Or
Round
CJ
one.
Spiller. Yeah.
That's someone who's
You need
not
him.
on a team.
Yet.
It's going to happen again.
Yes.
Chiefs. Do you know CJ Spiller made almost $100,000 last year from being signed and cut by the Chiefs?
That is more than I made last year.
Yes, and all I had to do was stay in football shape.
I was almost doing that.
There was a day where he was not even a Chief for a day, and he made like $40,000.
That's incredible.
I want that.
Yeah.
You could do physical therapy for the Chiefs.
I'll do it.
Well, this brings us to our final, not really a buy or sell, just the final item. Let's celebrate that Francis did not win a championship and
Cheers.
didn't really win that much at all.
Francis winning nothing.
Friends.
That tastes good.
League mates. Until the next pod, I hope you don't learn much about football. I hope you have an okay life. And I hope you are really anticipating.
Setting the bar real low.
Yeah, I want people to overachieve.
Okay.
I wish them fine.
Like, I want it to be pleasant. And that's why I think it's okay. Like, I don't want to be like, it must be amazing, because what if it doesn't happen? I want it to be achievable. And, I don't know the third thing, but get ready to get wrecked.
Get erect.
Put it in the butt.